How to transform your physique. I'm going to take you guys through all the steps you need to know to transform your physique, just like I did, going from this to this. Stick through till the end to figure out what the most important thing is in all of this. Let's get started. Number one, diet. Diet is everything. You've probably heard it a million times. I've said it a million times. Diet is everything. Everything that you do in training and cardio, if it's not backed up by a proper nutritional plan, a nutritional guideline, then it's just a waste of time. I've said it so many times before. If you're working hard in the gym, but you're not on top of your nutrition, you might as well just be wasting your time. You need to be on top of your nutrition, especially if you're serious about transforming your physique. No one is going to be there, standing there, force feeding you anything. And you can't use that as an excuse that if you go out to eat, if you go out to dinner, that you just had to eat junk. There's no excuse. You're in charge of what goes in your body. You are in charge, no one else. So, first thing you need to figure out is your calories. That's all this is. It's calories in versus calories out. So to figure out how many calories you need to be, eating, what your macronutrients, which are your carbs, your fat, and your protein, which aren't nearly. I mean, your protein is important, but these things aren't as important as your calories. So if you have your calories and you have your macros, you have everything you need in terms of diet. And to sort of help you out with this, I have a free guide. I have a free guide that takes you through how to calculate your calories, how to calculate your macros. Link will be in the description box down below. Download it. All you need to do is enter your email address. You'll get an email to you. You download that guide and follow it, and it'll give you exactly. You'll need a calculator to sort of work through everything, but it'll give you your calories, your macros, and that's it. That's what you need to get started ASAP. And that's what I used. That's exactly the guideline that I used. That's a calorie. That's how I worked out my calories. So once you have that, once you have your calories and your macronutrients, you need to get used to tracking your food. That's a non-negotiable. You have to learn how to count your calories, how to count your macros. If you've never used an app like MyFitnessPal before, it doesn't have to be MyFitnessPal. It could be any app, but any food tracking app. You need to get used to it. You need to get used to weighing everything that you're eating, or almost everything that you're eating, because you need to have an understanding of what you're putting in your body. And just like the calories that you work out once you calculate everything, it's not going to be exact, but it's going to be a good starting point. And the same thing with the foods you're tracking. You're not always going to be exact with the calories and whatnot, but it's going to give you a rough idea, and it's better than nothing. It's better than not tracking your food. So track your food. You need to learn how to track your food. But once you learn how to track your food, figure out what kind of foods you like and make that fit your calories. That's all it is. For me, I'm someone that can eat the same foods for days, for weeks, for months. And then I'll probably get bored of it after about a month or two, and then I'll switch it up. But once I get into a routine, I can generally eat the same kind of foods every single day if I like it. And when I get bored, I'll just switch one meal up. But I've been eating the same breakfast for months. I've been eating the same lunch for months. I'll probably change up dinner every now and then, but it all depends on what kind of foods you like. But make sure that the foods you're eating, you enjoy. That's another thing. You need to enjoy the foods that you're eating. You can't just jump on a diet plan, a strict, clean diet plan of foods that you're not used to eating, because you know what? You're not going to last. So make sure you're enjoying the foods that you're eating. So once you have your calories, your macros, find out what kind of foods you actually enjoy eating and make healthier versions of them. For me, for example, I love pasta. I love sandwiches. I love pancakes. So now instead of pancakes, I make French toast. Instead of pasta, I still have pasta. I just have protein pasta. And instead of sandwiches, I still have sandwiches. I just make it healthier bread, high protein bread. So making small changes like that comes a long way in this journey. So that's diet in check. You have to have your diet under control. And then it comes to training. Training is a big part in your physical journey, of course. And it doesn't matter. You can pick whatever kind of workout plan that you enjoy. I recommend something like a full body, upper lower, or a push pull leg split. But it all comes down to what kind of plan that you think you can realistically follow, how many times a week that you can train. But what's important is the quality of your training, the quality and the volume that you're training. So you need to make sure if you can only head to the gym 3 times a week, 2 times a week, you need to make sure you're getting in enough volume to, actually make some progress. If you need some help, I do have workout plans. It will be in the description box down below. I have a full body split, which is a 4 day a week full body split. And then I have an intense upper lower program, which is what I used. And it is intense, but you will see results. And it is an 8 week plan. Run it again. That's what I did. I ran it, and then I ran it again, and then I ran it again. And I just ran the same plan over and over again because there's no point changing up your plan. You just progressively overload. Keep the exercises simple. So training, once you have the kind of plan that you want, you need to make sure you're training hard. Remember, form is everything. So when you first start, if you've never gymmed before, if you've never trained, if you're just getting started in the training, I would recommend taking it slow. So when you start training, don't go 100% from the get-go, because what's going to happen is you're going to feel sore and you won't be able to train for the next few days. And over time, you're going to have less training sessions just because you went too hard that one training session. So I would recommend taking it slow, going maybe 50% to start off with, and then 60%, and then 70, and then 80, and then 100%. So take like a month to slowly ease yourself into it. And I know that it seems like a long time, but that's what I did. When COVID happened, I was out of the gym for 4 months, and I didn't want to get straight back into it 100% because I knew that my body would be incredibly sore. So I took my time. I took 4 weeks. Sorry, I took a month just going 40 to 70% of what I normally would do. I had to leave my ego at the door. It was painful, but in the long run, it was worth it. So make sure you ease into it. And once you do, remember, it doesn't matter how much weight you lift. It's all about the form. The form is everything. Make sure you're focusing on the form and you're really feeling that mind-muscle connection when you're training, which is something that I don't see often at all. No one cares how much weight you can lift. Progressive overload doesn't always just mean going heavier every single session. It could mean getting an extra rep at the same weight. Progressive overload, you just have to keep improving from last time, training harder than last time. But that's training. You need to be on top of your training. You can't make excuses for yourself. And another thing is I recommend getting into a good routine when it comes to training. So I would highly recommend, if you can, training at the same time every single day. For me, that was generally in the afternoon, morning, afternoonish, but now it's in the mornings. Now it's always in the mornings. But I tried to keep it at the same time every day. Get into a rhythm, get your body into a rhythm. And at that time, it'll get to a point where your body wakes up, it's ready to train at that time. When you train at erratic times during the day, your body gets used to it. Your body knows. Your body is smart. So you want to get used to a particular time. I highly recommend mornings. I mean, if you work a 9 to 5 job, mornings are perfect. I don't know about you, but my performance, I know it's going to be shit if I train after work, after 5, because I'm tired, I'm dead. Some people can train after 5, I can't. I feel super energetic, super awake in the mornings, so I train in the mornings. But it all depends on what you're like, how you can train. So figure out what works for you and train at the same time every single day. And motivation, you're going to feel motivated to train in the first few days, but it's going to run out. So discipline. That's why I'm saying routine. Getting into a routine as soon as possible is the best bet. You need to get into a routine ASAP, as soon as you can. Because once the motivation runs out, that's when the habits and the routine will kick in. You have to force yourself. You're not going to feel like training every single day. I don't feel like training every single day still. But I know that if I push myself, if I wake myself out of the bed, push myself, get into the gym, I feel better. So that's all it is, getting into a routine and staying disciplined. Next thing is cardio. This is where a lot of people get it wrong. A lot of people get it wrong. A lot of people, as soon as they want to start losing weight, start doing endless amounts of cardio. The only thing cardio does is it burns more calories, puts you in more of a deficit. But you can get to that point by eating less. But I see people starting a weight loss journey and straight away doing a bunch of cardio. It doesn't have to be like that. You don't have to do cardio. The only cardio that I did and the only cardio that I recommend is walking, getting steps in. I went for walks. I took my dog out for a walk. That's all I did. I never once did any cardio in the gym. It was all walking. And I just increased my walks from 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, to 40 minutes, to 45 minutes. But that was over a long period of time. That was over a year. 8 months to a year. But I would recommend starting off counting your steps. So if you don't have, something that tracks your steps, I have a Fitbit. I highly recommend getting one of these. They're really cheap. I'll have the links down in the description box below of the one that I use and a few other good options. But just get it so you know. It gives you a rough idea of how many steps you're getting in. It is really helpful. And you can use your phone, but your phone undercounts your steps. It really does. It undercounts your steps by 4,000 or 5,000. I know because I have this on, and days that I have my phone on me at all times, my phone shows 5,000 steps less. So doesn't have to be expensive, a cheap steps tracker. Links down in the description. You can check it out. And count your steps. I recommend starting off with about 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day, and then slowly bumping it up to 9,000, 10,000, and 11,000, 12,000, by about 1,000 every 1-2 weeks. And you're going to see the progress. I mean, you want to be losing 1% of your body weight each week. So if you're losing more weight, more than 1% of your body weight, I would say bring it a bit down. But starting off with 8,000 steps, I would say do 8,000 steps for about a month, and then see how you feel, see how you're going, how's your weight loss journey going. And then the next month, maybe do 9,000, 10,000. But when you get leaner and leaner, like I am right now, you have to increase it by 1,000 every 1-2 weeks, because your body gets used to it. But that's because I'm getting leaner and leaner. But when you're just starting your fitness journey, your body, everything's going to be such a shock to it, and it's going to respond. So get a fitness tracker, count your steps. I don't recommend doing any other cardio. I mean, if you really like doing cardio, go for it. But what's going to happen is, if you do something like HIIT, high intensity cardio, it's going to burn a lot of calories. You're going to feel good, but you're going to feel hungry. That's what I've noticed. You're going to feel hungrier. You're going to feel like you have a lot less energy. But with walking, low intensity steady state cardio, you feel fine. You enjoy it. You go for a walk outdoors in the nature, go for a hike. These things are fun, and you're losing weight in the process. So that's what I recommend when it comes to cardio. And last but not least, this is the most important thing that ties everything that I've just said together, and a lot of people seem to miss. A lot of people seem to completely underestimate, is sleep. You need to be sleeping right. You can't do this without proper sleep. Sleep is everything. And I sort of learned that I learned that recently. I mean, in the past 2 years. I mean, I was young when I first started. My sleeping pattern was irregular. I don't know what I was doing. But as I sort of got more experience in the gym, matured in the gym, I realized how important sleep actually is. Nothing is as important as sleep. If you had to choose between training and sleeping, I would choose sleep because sleep is so important. Sleep has such an effect on every single aspect of your life, your stress levels, muscle gain, health, everything. So you have to make sure you're sleeping at least 7 hours. I used to think it was 6 hours. No, at least 7 hours. 6 hours isn't enough. 6 hours maybe for the normal average human being, but when you're putting your body through so much stress, because you want it to transform, you want to change, you want to have a good physique, you need to be sleeping for at least 7 hours, 8 hours if you can. So sleep is everything. Whatever you need to get good night's sleep, take it. I take ashwagandha. I take around 500 milligrams of ashwagandha before bed. Helps me sleep. But if you take CBD, you can take anything that helps you sleep properly, because sleep is everything. And another thing that these watches do, it tracks sleep, so I can look at my sleep score every day, every morning, and have a look at how my sleep went, what I need to change if my sleeping was bad, look at why my sleep was bad that night. I try to put a big emphasis on my sleep. And I feel like that's the most important thing out of everything. Even more important than diet is sleep. Without proper sleep, everything that you're doing is useless. Sure, there's going to be people out there telling you, oh, you need to work hard. I mean, if you sometimes even sacrifice sleep for success, no, you don't. You can't have success without sleep. So make sure you're sleeping right. Make sure you're getting into a good routine of sleeping, getting to bed early, waking up early. Get your life together, and you'll see the results come. These are things that I wish I could go back and tell myself when I first started this journey, because these are things that I've learned over my journey. And these things have helped me a lot as I learned them. And I hope they help you guys too. This is pretty much everything that I know, everything you need to know to get started in your fitness journey. So download my free guide on how to calculate your macros, your calories. Look at my workout plans if you want, and get started today. What are you waiting for? If you want to see the kind of foods that I eat every single day, you can click right here.